What's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about something that will help you save a lot of money and something that I feel like a lot of kids and young adults don't know too much about. And I really truly believe that this needs to be a way bigger topic in public schools. And this is how to build your credit. You might be thinking, why would I want to start building my credit? Why not just pay for everything in cash? That way I don't have to pay some crazy amount in interest. And while that is true, you do have to pay for interest if you don't pay for stuff in cash. But I'm here to tell you exactly why this can actually help make you money if you have a good credit score. First off, I want to explain why credit is so important, and then I'm going to go over exactly what determines your credit score and what factors go into it. Let's start with the basics, shall we? What is a credit score? Now, I went on Google, looked it up, and the exact definition is a number assigned to a person that indicates to lenders their capacity to repay a loan. Credit is very important because it can save you thousands of dollars, thousands, because there's credit cards out there that give you so many benefits if you use them, and they're only available to people with a certain credit score. Usually above 740, you're going to be able to get any credit card that you want depending on the wage you're earning. Interest can be extremely expensive. Say you want to get a house that's $300,000. You get that house, but your credit score is not very good. And so the interest rate is going to be 5%. Now, this monthly payment is going to be about $1,610. If you go in with a really good credit score and for that exact same $300,000 house and get a 3% interest rate, that lowers your payment to $1,264 a month, which saves you, like $350 each and every month, which over time adds up to a ton of money. With the 5% interest rate on that house, over the 30-year term of the loan, you end up spending over $579,000 on that $300,000 house. Now with that 3% interest rate, you're going to be spending about $455 with Now with that 3% interest rate, you end up spending just over $455,000. So just between a 5 and a 3% interest rate, it's going to be saving you $100,000 over that 30-year term of the loan. I know you're probably thinking, why would I want to pay all that money in interest when I'm just buying a $300,000 house? Why would I want to spend $450,000 or $575,000 or however much the interest is? Now I'm going to tell you why. Even people like Mark Zuckerberg, Jay-Z, Beyonce, who have literally money printing machines at their disposal because of how much money they make, still take out mortgages on their houses. The reason they do this is because with interest rates so low, they can make way more money putting their money, instead of going into a house, into the stock market or really investing in anywhere else, and make a ton more money doing this. Now let me break this down a little further. If you were to buy a $500,000 house in cash, just flat out, no loan, then over the 30 years that a loan would take you to pay off, your house would appreciate at on average 4%, and that would get you to $1.6 million after those 30 years. That's how much your house would be worth. Say you have that same $500,000 that you were going to pay in cash for the house, but instead you decide to take out a mortgage with a minimum down payment, which would be about $15,000, and would get you a 3% interest rate. And you take that $485,000 remaining that you still have, and you put it in the stock market. This is going to make your money grow over the 30-year span to, get this, wait for it, $5.8 million. Now, doesn't that sound a lot better than 1.6? And not only do you have the $5.8 million, you also still have the house appreciation. Now, don't think I forgot that you have to make payments on that house for the entire 30 years. With making the monthly payment every single month over the 30 years, you end up spending a little over $735,000. Now, for easy math purposes, we're going to take that $735,000, subtract it from the $5.8 million, and that gets you to $5.07 million in total money gained after all your expenses. And now you have that $1.6 million house to go along with it. Now, let's take another approach as to why taking out a mortgage is better than paying for your house in cash. Let's say you put that minimum down payment, and that's $15,000. You get that 3% interest rate, and you take that $480,000, put it in the stock market. Now, you're going to be earning approximately $40,000 off of that every year in dividends. Meanwhile, you're only paying $2,044 every month for your house payment. Now, this adds up to be just a little over $24,000 a year. This means you could literally use the money you're making off your dividends to pay your house payment every single year and still have $16,000 left over. Now, this is why billionaires continue to take out mortgages even when they have all this cash, printing money machines here, printing money machines there, just cash flowing in at all different angles, and yet they still use their credit to take out mortgages because it's just so obvious the better decision to do. Now that you realize just how important it is in getting a good credit score, let's talk about how to build it. There are 5 different categories that credit bureaus use to determine your credit score. Number 1, your on-time payments. Now, this one is pretty self-explanatory. Just make your monthly payments, pay them on time, and you won't get docked any points. Pretty simple, right? Number 2, your credit usage. The best way to maximize this one is to have as much credit available to you as possible, but only use a small fraction of the actual credit that you have at your disposal. I would definitely recommend using less than 30% because the lower percent you can use, the better. Number 3, your average age of credit. Now, this is the age of all your credits or all your credit accounts added up and divided by the number of accounts you have open. So say you have 3 different lines of credit open. Maybe you have a credit card you've had for 2 years. Maybe you have a car loan that you've had for 1 year. And then maybe you just got a brand new credit card today. Now, this would mean you have 3 credit accounts open, and in total, you've had them open for 3 years. So you take the 3 accounts divided by the 3 years, and you get an average age of credit of 1 year. I would definitely recommend having at least a year for your average age of credit. This is going to get you the most points possible on that credit score. Number 4, you got total number of accounts. Typically, credit bureaus like to see that you have at least 1 credit card, 1 car loan, and a mortgage. This just shows that you're a responsible handler of money and that you can pay back anything, whether it's a credit card, a car, or a house, and it just shows the credit bureaus that you are very responsible with your money. Now, I don't believe there are any penalties to having more than this. I would definitely say that a minimum of 3 is recommended. Now, last but not least, number 5, the number of hard inquiries on your account. So a hard inquiry is just when a credit bureau, or maybe you're going to get a car loan and they have to run a hard credit report to pull your credit score. Now, this is going to dock you for a little bit of time, but it goes off your record after 2 years. And honestly, getting that little dock for a little bit isn't going to do much because you should be able to get the loan. And by paying that loan off for those 2 years is going to shoot up your credit score way higher than it got docked. Well, guys, that's just about wrapped us up. I hope you learned a lot from this video. I hope it gave you insight onto whether or not you should take out a mortgage or pay with things in cash. And I hope that you guys can make the smart decision and use debt wisely, because it really can be super beneficial in achieving financial independence and just growing your wealth overall. Now, with that said, you guys, if you could just give that little like button a teeny little click, make it turn blue, it'd be much appreciated. I know the YouTube algorithm would appreciate it as well. And if you could just hit that subscribe button, really helps out my channel. Hope you guys learned a lot, and I'll see you next time.